Hey there everybody, hope you're all doing alright, and this is gonna be a video on connections. Alright, so what do I mean by connections? As you know, in this ever evolving and ever fast moving world, we tend to find connections with people through various means of, connectivity, being social media, phones, through the internet, through other sites like Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, and it's been really good for us since we could contact people from like other countries, our relatives, our families, get in touch with them every once in a while through of Skype, Google Meet, Zoom. It really helps us to stay connected with them, to have conversations with them, to talk with them every once in a while, to keep in touch, so we don't lose that sense of bond or relationship that we've built with them from before just because of distance. All right, so yeah, I mean, being connected now is very easy. You just go to a place with Wi-Fi, you on your data, or if you have load, you can call them, as long as you have a phone or anything, you can just the internet, you can just send someone a message, get started chatting, get started on talking, conversating with them, getting to know them, their likes, their interests, and overall them as a person. But I think I don't know. I think this is just a personal opinion of mine, but being connected is more than just talking. Being connected is more than just chatting, more than just saying, "Hey, how are you?" That's one way of getting started to get connected. I would say that because of course you can't connect with someone, or you can't build that connection that you have with someone or want to have with someone if you don't start a conversation, if you don't get to know them, if you don't talk to them and find out who they are as a person, what they like, what their dreams are, and check if you guys vibe with each other, like you play off each other's energy, something like that. That's also another thing which I think is a new term for me but might not be for you guys. But I recently like got into the understanding of vibing off each other's energy. You just like you feel each other in a certain way. It's like you get one another's perspective, you understand their view of life, you understand why they like certain things, why they're into certain things, why they're not comfortable with other things. And yeah, it's a way of like opening up to people. And as I've said in my opening of video, it's a really good way for people to know you, because how can they know you if you can't open up? And I believe that you want to keep your boundaries, that's okay. If you want to you know keep certain stuff to yourself, that's okay, because everyone has their personal issues and personal stuff that they don't really feel comfortable sharing with certain people, and that's okay. You can keep that to yourself, like I've always said. And this is a quote that I stand by because it's actually very true, which is the only thing that people know about you is the amount of information that you give them, or the amount of information that you let them know, right? So like, yeah, that makes sense, right? Because no one will get to know you on a deeper level unless you allow them. They might find fun facts about you or stuff that you post online, because as I've said, it's a digital age where it's ever evolving, ever progressing, and we get to connect with each other, find out info about one another on Facebook and social media. But through Facebook and social media, that's also a means of you giving out information so that people will know you on a certain basis. You know, if you put these amount of hobbies there, people will only know that you like those types of stuff. They won't know your other interests. They won't know anything else about you unless you tell them. So there's that there's that aspect of space. There's that aspect of boundaries. Unless you want to, break down those boundaries and connect with them on a more deeper level, emotionally, mentally, you know, and spiritually, that's all up to you. But yeah, you have that choice of keeping your boundaries up, letting them know only the stuff that you want to let them know about, and getting to know them, and they do it vice versa. If they want to let you in on a little more deeper stuff or meaningful stuff about their life, or on an emotional level, on mental level, on a spiritual level, then they will. If not, then they have their walls up, they have their boundaries, and they'll only let you know what they want you to know, right? So now that we've established, connections and all that and how they connect with people, let's get into how to connect with them on a deeper level. All right. So as I've said, we all have walls, and if we choose to, we can break down those walls. And with breaking down those walls comes vulnerability. Now, I've already talked about vulnerability in my other video, which is, the being able to let go, being able to bring down those walls and those barriers that you have up and just not be afraid of people judging you because vulnerability is a way of connecting. There's a lot of ways where you can connect with people. It's not only through conversations, but it's also through activities, through watching a movie, through this one. You can, or through watching someone work or do their passion or, pursue certain stuff that they're interested in. I mean, from from what I know, you can actually tell a lot about someone through their craft or through the things that they admire to do. You get to know people on that, and you get to see, how much enthusiasm do they have when doing the things that they love compared to, daily boring tasks that they do. And so, yeah, there's other ways of really just connecting with people. It's through activities, through hobbies, through watching them, and just being with them. Because, sometimes even just sitting quietly with someone, let's say on a bench, in your home, somewhere else, eating, you get to connect with them on an emotional level and a personal level, I would say, because, words don't have to explain everything, like literally. I mean, you can have a good time, connect with someone by just watching videos, not saying anything at all, just laughing together, eating together, and smiling at each other for no apparent reason. The human emotion, the human mind, and human heart is very like interesting because it works in different ways. Your mind thinks logical, your heart thinks emotional, and even though it's just a organ pumping blood, it can feel. It makes us feel. Even though our brain is just a bunch of neurons put together, we can think, we can be logical, and that's how connecting with people works. We use our brain and we use our heart as well because we need our heart to feel and we need our brain and mind to express those feelings. you know Move our body parts to express our body language. If in terms of joy, in terms of sorrow, in terms of love, in terms of anger, it's all interconnected. Overall, if you're having trouble connecting with people, just know that, you just have to let them in a sense, once you're comfortable, that is. Because I feel like it's really hard to connect with people or have that connection or that bond with someone or with a group of people if you don't put your walls down, if you don't, you know, bring them down for a while. So yeah, I think that's the one thing that's keeping us, from truly connecting with people is fear, judgment, and our walls that we put up. Because, and that's not to say that's only a problem with you. I mean, everyone, even myself. I tend to put my barriers up and pretend that I am, someone else whenever I'm not with my usual friends, when I'm around strangers or the outside world, around and people there. Anyways, getting sidetracked. Going back to connecting, if you really want to connect with people, like the only way is that you have to let them in. That's the one thing. You have to let them in to your life, to your hobbies, and it can be through simple steps. You don't need to go right away to your deepest darkest secrets. What happened to your life? Why you're so traumatized by this certain thing. It doesn't have to be all that. You don't have to go in depth right away. You can just, start by explaining what you like to do, why you like it, how it makes you feel, and in return, ask about them because people love, when people ask about themselves, because they feel like they see that someone wants to get to know them and, someone's actually interested in the things that they do or the things that they love to do or things that they deem important in their life because, you know, and I think the one main thing besides talking, besides conversating, besides asking, is listening. I think the best way to connect with someone is you listen to them. because like I said, people have to talk. People have to talk about themselves. People have to talk about what's important in their life. And if they find someone willing to listen, then that's something that they'll be appreciative of, and they'll feel like they can open up to them because in the day and age where we're so busy, when we're so, you know, overflowing with schedules and stuff to do, it's really rare for people to find time to just sit down, have a conversation, without doing anything, uh, no other plans, just sitting down and talking about certain things that went on with their day and stuff like that. And when you listen, you get to know them even more because, they're telling you everything about themselves, or they're telling everything that they want you to know about themselves, whether it's a deeper level or not. You're getting to know the person either way. But anyways, that's all for this. All gonna be for the stock. I mean, I know it's a little bit everywhere, but the general sense is connecting. So yeah. So to conclude the talk, I would just like to say, if you guys are having trouble connecting with people, if you guys are having trouble, talking to people, it's okay. The first step, like I said, engage in the conversation. Second step, once you get to know them, let them know about yourself, a little bit, your hobbies, your likings, this and that, why you like them, why you feel this way, you know. And then after that, you get to connect with them on a deeper level if they choose to. And as time goes on, you'll start to build that relationship, that friendship, that bond, and that connection that all of us have been longing for, those genuine, deep connections where we can always turn to in times of, hardships and we can vibe, have fun with. Anyways, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening and stay connected. All right, see you.